Baku Madarame Usogui, that guy. I'm not expecting you all to have read this series, but if you have, you know why you clicked. As Baku Madarame is pretty much the GOAT. In today's video, I'll explain how you can emulate his abilities, therefore becoming him. And also, I've recently read this series and let me tell you, 10 out of 10. But what do I even mean by becoming like Usogui? Do I mean that you can constantly bet your life on the line and win? Well, I mean it depends. As like you pretty much got it or do not. So if you do, then add these abilities alongside, then yeah, you will win. But if you're a loser, you can be less of a loser. So let's get right into it. So, to begin, what makes Baku Madarame so fierce? Like, why is he him? Throughout the entire series, the odds are stacked up against him, yet he wins. He always takes on the craziest gambles, yet he wins. Why? Well, there's many things, but if I were to narrow it down, it'd be his charisma, fearlessness, manipulation, intuition, thinking, planning, and foresight. So, to become like Usogui, all you have to do is just master each of these abilities. So now let's go one by one, and I'll teach you guys how to achieve all these abilities, hence making you into Usogui, IRL. So let's go first in charisma. So, to show you guys how far charisma can take you, let me tell you a story. There was a guy, he was a nobody. He failed art school, and he joined the military since he had no choice. But through everything, what made him shine like a diamond in the rough was his next level charisma and talking skills. Whether you hate him or love him, almost anyone who lived in Germany in that time period can attest to this. So now that you know that, by just having charisma and next level talking skills, it can bring you to the height of power as Hitler did. So what are you doing? So let me tell you guys how to actually improve this ability. First, it's about confidence. Own your space and believe in what you say. Confidence is contagious. It draws people in. And then you have to be clear. Be clear in your communication. Don't be stuttering and don't be like People follow what they can understand and relate to. And then there is the art of storytelling. You want to weave facts with emotions. Make your audience feel, not just listen. This is where charisma really shines. It's not about what you say, but how you make people feel when you say it. And then you want to study. Watch people like Barack Obama, Andrew Tate, or even Hitler speak. They all have this secret talking power. Like Obama is calm, concise, and clear, while Tate speaks with unmatched confidence and conviction. And then Hitler, the emotion, the passion in his voice, the body language, the verbal hand cues, he gravitates the whole room towards him. And I'm not trying to glaze or anything. He catches your attention. Well, pretty much I'll leave more study resources in the description below, but 2 people I recommend to improve your voice YouTube channel and Charisma on Command. So now let's move on to the second ability, fearlessness. There's only one way to become fearless, and there's no way around it. It's to become jaded. For you guys who don't know what that means, it's becoming tired, bored, or lacking enthusiasm, typically after having too much of something. Look, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. You guys aren't gonna become fearless by just watching this video and I said a couple words. The only way to become fearless is by being scared and just going on and continue to do everything. It's only after you do it for the 3rd and 4th lap, since you experienced it all, you become jaded then fearless. So for example, someone who spars frequently will never be scared of a fight because he becomes jaded from doing it too much, he becomes bored of it. Someone who, for example, plays high-stakes gambling, he won't fear losses like Usogui because it's a part of the game. Usogui has been through so many gambles where he risked his life, risked other people's life, risked so much stuff on the line. He just became jaded. So what you want to do is just speedrun becoming jaded. And now let's move on to the third ability, manipulation. How do you manipulate? It's becoming hyper aware and knowledgeable. The thing about manipulation is that most of the time in our day-to-day lives, doing some next level Ayanokoji, Johann Lieber, or like Yagami manipulation isn't possible. Why? Because the author specifically creates scenarios where the character can use these certain tactics. So you know what that means, right? If the main problem with real life manipulation is the fact that you can't find actual situations to use them in, and then when you think you're in a situation you can't do something because you forget it, all you would have to do then is just lay the groundwork. And there's a lot you need to do to accomplish this, but since you guys are young, it doesn't matter, or it doesn't really matter the age, don't call me you're too old, but you just need to learn the skills and knowledge, have them reinforced through your mind, becoming hyper aware and knowledgeable, so then when you are in the situations, you can use them. So let me teach you the 5 things you need to study. So you want to study human nature, understand psychology, understand non-verbal cues like body language, emotional intelligence, and learn specific manipulation tactics like the foot in the door technique and gaslighting, etc. But you might be thinking, wait, Edie, that's too much work. Oh wait, guess what? I made videos on how to do exactly every single one of those. I'm not saying to read 100 books. I mean, if you want to become like a top tier manipulator, I guess you do have to read 100 books. But for every one of those 5 sections, I have videos on them specifically, so I'll leave them in the description below. So now let's move on to the 4th one, intuition. So out of all of these, it's pretty much the weirdest one, because it's not really a skill to be worked on. It's like what I said in the beginning, you either got it or you don't. But there is one logical way to work on it, and that's having extensive exposure to problem. Like I said before, stop for a second and think, whose intuition is better, a 17-year-old or a 70-year-old? Now let me tell you the answer, it's a 70-year-old. And now think about this, who has better intuition? Usogui, who's been through countless battles with his life on the line and has to solve mysteries using his brain and using his intuition every second, or the 70-year-old? Usogui, because that 70-year-old, it's not possible for him to use his intuition that much and be having extensive exposure to problems more than Usogui, because that's literally what Usogui is like made for. And look, to further prove my hypothesis, like I said before, Usogui, Ayanokoji, even Akagi from the show Akagi, we know that he has, every character that I'm mentioning right now all have extensive exposure to problems. So what I want you guys to do is just basically life experience. The more experience you have, the better your intuition gets. So that means stop being on social media, go outside and put your heart on the line. Make yourself extremely bored. Because look, there's absolutely no reason for you to get real life experience when you get entertainment from social media and sex from porn. And although it's not really the same, your brain thinks it is. This will lead your dopamine circuits to never even want to seek anything. So obviously stop. So that's pretty much going to force you to go outside. And then by exposing yourself to a wide range of problems, it can be things like tackling puzzles, logic games, coding challenges, strategic games like chess, mahjong, or even reading mystery novels. So now let's move on to the 5th one, which is thinking, planning, and foresight. To enhance your thinking, planning, and foresight, you need to develop a strategic mindset. This involves constantly analyzing situations, predicting outcomes, and making informed decisions. It's not about just seeing the immediate effects of your actions, but the long-term consequences as well. And we see Usogui does this all the time. He will start doing something small in the beginning of the game, and then its effect will come towards like the end of the game. The way you can do this in real life is start off with goal setting, define clear achievable goals, and then this gives you the target to aim for and a framework to devise your plans around. And then remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Once you have your goals set, break them down into actionable steps, and this will make the whole process less daunting and more manageable. Next, I want you guys to engage in regular reflection and review sessions. What worked, what didn't, why? Reflect on your successes and failures and build a deep understanding of the dynamics at play. And then this continuous loop of planning, executing, and reviewing sharpens your ability to anticipate and adapt. Also, immerse yourself in environments that challenge your cognitive abilities. Like you can join my cognitive ability program. It's free, by the way, in the description below. So just do that for your cognitive abilities. And then moreover, learn from history and current events. Because as they say, history often repeats itself. By understanding historical events, the decisions made, and their outcomes, you can better predict similar patterns in today's world. So this applies not just in politics or business, but in personal interactions and smaller scale projects as well. And then lastly, I just want you guys to cultivate patience. We know how long Usogui took planning the Surpass the Leader event. Planning and foresight are not about the immediate gratification. They require you to think long term, to wait for the right moment to act. Patience allows you to meticulously prepare and seize opportunities when they're the most advantageous, not when they just first appear. Thank you guys for watching Peace on the Street, and although this video is about Usogui, I also have an Ayanokoji 1-year White Room program where we have special exams, classes A to D, White Room training, a 430 slide PDF drive in the description below if you want to join. It's up to you. Thank you for watching, and peace on the street.